Okay, we're live, everybody. Hey, Robin here. We're at TMT headquarters in Redwood now, not in Franklin anymore because we've grown, right? And Jeff requires a big office now that he's president of the company. So we're here. We are in the office.
It's in the contract.
Something like that. I was just trying to, oh wait a minute. See, it's showing us.
Yes, wow, they look great.
Oh, I do.
Wow.
We're like watching ourselves
Probably
on.
So
Yeah,
cool.
well, yeah, you know what? I just kind of wanted to watch the chat, but I'm screwing everything up. So let me just, yeah.
But the office is still awesome.
Yeah, well, let me.
So is
I'll
Jeff.
just put my phone right there.
That's it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so anyway, we are here to announce the Better Your Best finalists for boot camp this year. And for most of you out there watching this, you probably are clients of ours, members of ours. And but in case you're not or you're new, every year we have a big annual international conference where all of our members, all membership levels come together and we talk about growth and how to be a better entrepreneur. And this year we're going to focus a lot on productivity, time management, marketing, sales. We're going to be doing some sizzling. We're totally sizzling all
Every day.
every day with the numbers. So that's our big annual event. It's robinsbigseminar.com. We've been doing this every year, and every year we have a theme, and this year is going to be, yeah, baby, more sales, more marketing, more growth, more success. Okay, so one of the things that we do at boot camp every year is we pick a spokesperson, an ambassador to the industry. And this contest has really evolved over the years. And every year the competition gets harder. The contestants are better. I mean, just an amazing thing. So in fact, like I said, I've got Jeff Johnson here as my president. Rob Patterson, who is the VP, head of everything, Producers Club, right? We gotta elevate you. He's got a very small office, okay, in here, so no windows. And so but he's new, so we'll work on that, right? Okay. So anyway, so Jeff, you were a client for how many years?
For about 5 years.
And then you joined, and so you were there at the first boot camp. I mean, talk a little bit about your experience, what you've seen over the years.
Yeah, so this is the 17th annual boot camp that we've had. And so that first one probably fit in about the size of this office.
Yeah, right.
Not my office.
Here, not your office, but my office here. We're a small group of MSPs. Really, it was barely even MSPs at that time because MSP was barely a thing when we started boot camp. And it's grown. So right from that beginning, that first boot camp that we had the Better Your Best contest. It originated that 17 years ago at the first boot camp, and with a couple hundred people, 150 people, somewhere in that.
Yeah, something like that.
There,
the first one. Yeah.
That was at. This year we're going to be at about 1,500 between everyone that's going to be there at boot camp.
No, you're supposed to double the number and lie. That's what everyone else does. 3,000 people there. 3,000 people there. Don't worry about it. Just don't count. As long as you give them
So we got about 1,500 real numbers, true numbers. That we've got about 1,500 MSPs that are going to be there. And this year we are giving away a car, just like we've done the last 16 years. And it just keeps on upping and upping the contest. What first started out of being, I'm a $200,000, $300,000 company, and I'm reaching for $1 million. Like $1 million for Producers Club is the minimum, even to
enter, to be in there,
to be in the club. And we'll talk about the results of those that have entered the contest. And so we're really here to be able to see who's going to be the finalist this year. Exactly. That's what we're announcing on this call.
Look at that, and look at that picture of me. That was my best Austin Powers jacket I've got on. What do you think of that? You're jealous. I'm channeling Prince.
I am. Well,
okay,
that's a good thing to channel.
Right. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the contestants, because I also want Rob to talk a little bit. So Rob, when did you join us? Like officially as a client, when did you
like about 8 years or so as a client.
Right. So we run an MSP and they were what, 6 million,
yeah,
right?
When I started there was like under 1.5 million, and built the whole leadership team through it. And now I'm here.
All right. And so you went through all the submissions.
Yes.
Which was a big project, right? We dumped on you. So yeah, I was like, here, new guy. No, and I look at them all, Jeff looks at them all, we do, but someone had to kind of comb through. What would you say in general about all the like just in general, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I've been on that other side and watching the people get up on stage, and it seems like those numbers are impressive, but looking at all the submissions. Everybody had something impressive to their story, either they increased their FTAs, their revenue, or their net, or all of it. And then there's also some really just great stories of how they got to where, and the way that they were able to leverage this community.
Right.
Community came up a lot,
Yeah,
so.
of course, yes.
It's hard to make decisions on this.
Right. We say that and like, people think it really, I think that the contestants get better every year, the competition gets tougher every year. So the first thing I want to do is just, again, we allow this contest for Producers Club members only. So you got to be in Producers Club in order to be a finalist or semi-finalist or finalist in the Better Your Best competition. And so what we do is we ask all the accountability groups to have to submit at least one person. What do we have, like all the 35 accountability groups somewhere in there? So at least, and now some groups like Stuart Bryant, if you're out there watching, kudos, brother, you got like, I think almost everybody from your group submitted. So one from each of those groups at a minimum. So there's a lot of people who are submitting, and they're submitting their financials, and they're submitting their a little story about how they got there. And what we're going to be measuring is bettering your best, so your year-over-year growth, okay? So if you look at 2023, last year growth on average, so this was for all the people who submitted, these are the averages. The average person submitting was just under 3 million in revenue. So that was the average. So I just want you to understand, when you see somebody adding $1 million to their business, they're not starting from a place of like, they were already doing 15 million and adding $1 million. That's not too hard to do. In fact, that's kind of failing if you're only adding $1 million when you're doing 15 million. But, so you're seeing that these, it's a $3 million year MSP. The revenue increase for the individual average increase was $470,048 to their business, which is a 24% year-over-year growth from the previous year, a net profit increase of $134,769, which was 116% net profit. And what I want to really point out here is it's really easy to get growth, but getting growth while simultaneously increasing profitability is a much, much more difficult thing to do, because growth eats cash. So yeah, you can spend a shit ton on marketing and hire a bunch of SDRs and do a bunch of things to get a bunch of revenue, but getting that profitability is really, really tough. So I just want to point that out. Really good job increasing 24%, 116% net profit. MRR was up $43,000 a month, $43,015 a month. With an ARR, that would be $500,000, 516,000 in recurring revenue, which would be a 33% increase. And first-time appointments. Now, the reason we measure first-time appointments, this is with brand new prospective clients. That's what a first-time appointment is. And the first-time appointment is it's not just a qualified lead, it's a qualified lead that they actually sit down with for the first time and have a meaningful conversation to. And in 2023, the average in the group that submitted went on 47 of those, which is phenomenal, because the average MSP generates less than 2 appointments a month. So think about that. That's phenomenal. Like, you're talking on average, most MSPs are maybe going on 12 to 18 appointments, and the people submitting here. So you can see the reason they're getting the growth is because they're doing the marketing, they're getting the new customers, and getting more new customers allows them to get rid of the cheapos, the ones that are not profitable, et cetera, right? So really, really, really good. So those were all the submissions. Now, I think I'm going to turn it over to you, Jeff. Why don't you talk about like the semi-finalists?
Sure.
And take us from here.
Yeah, and I will note with this, we were talking about this earlier, is that 47. So basically they took Christmas and Thanksgiving and
Yeah,
and maybe a few of these. Otherwise, they were one a week
Yeah.
of going on a solid appointment.
They slacked.
Yeah,
It should
they
be
slacked out on the holiday week.
What the hell?
So
But
maybe a vacation week in there or something with it. So, but yeah, great numbers with it for that on average with it. But we broke that down into semifinalists, and so we've got 12 semifinalists here for this contest that'll then get down to 5 finalists.
Can you hold up?
That we have.
Wait, this is 12.
oh, I see.
See, I need help.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
So
12.
you saw the numbers just right before this on the all submissions. When we get to semifinalists, it gets really interesting here. You start to see these numbers. For the semifinalists, the average revenue increase was 859,289.
Mhm.
So again, remember, this is going from on average of everyone of about 3 million, right at 3 million of that number, 859,038% increase. Net profit really skyrockets with this of 374,625. That is,
An ad.
yeah, of an ad. That
Yeah,
is
that's
the
not,
number.
that's not their net profit.
That's-
That is net profit added on
That's
to
what
the
they
top of what
added.
they already had, yeah.
That's what they added to their business
Mhm.
of that. So significant in pocket. That is all above their CEO salary as well. So
Yeah.
they're not counting that. We make sure that we normalize it.
Mhm.
They're of a true normalized salary for the CEO. Monthly recurring revenue increase, 64,717 a month. That's nearly $750,000 of annual recurring revenue that they added to their business last year. And you can see where it's bumping up now, 62 FTAs that they set.
There you go. There's
There.
that.
So now they weren't slacking off. They had that 15 more. They didn't take Christmas and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and other week
Yeah.
off.
Exactly.
They made sure that they were doing that there. So really without further ado.
Let's name, now again, these are gonna be the semifinalists, these are 12, and then we're gonna narrow it down to the 5 finalists. All right, let's talk about, go ahead, Jeff, I'll let you take.
All right, our first semifinalist,
If it works.
if it works,
Brian
Stats.
Yay, hey Brian.
CW IT support.
It's hard when you don't have an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Todd Clark out of Alaska. Denali Tech.
Yeah.
Huh?
Come on, Rob, you're a musician.
Yeah. You should be. playing
Next up, Matthew Rebstock, Text in a Flash.
Florida, yep.
All right, Evan Desjardins, Roundtable Technology.
Yeah, and Evan was like a pure break fix shop when he first came to us, so he's phenomenal. He's, yeah, doing great.
All right, 8 more. We've got Pedro Nunez,
Oh, trouble.
IT Management Solutions out of Boston.
We'll just leave it there. If you know Pedro, we'll leave it there, you know.
Bassoon Bubernak, ET&T, they're out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, bassoon, very cool.
All right,
Keep going.
it's
Stuck.
yeah.
Ryan.
Ryan Rolfsmeyer
Ryan.
out of Denver, Simplified IT Solutions.
I gotta tell you something really quick about, well, you went too fast,
Yeah,
but whatever. So Ryan, that was so funny because we were on a webinar and I remember the day Buck like, he asked like about a money back guarantee and I'm like, well, we don't offer one. I kind of said, hey, if you need one, you know what, this isn't for you, man, just don't sign up. And he's like, that actually got me to sign up. And like, then he went to
Yeah.
rapid implementation and now he's a Producers Club member. And it's just like, what I want, it's just, the reason I want to point out is he took over a failing MSP. There was one that was like, they were sucking eggs, people. I mean,
Yeah.
they were not making any money. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna retire rich. I'm gonna take over this MSP. And it was tough. I mean, you know, I just want to share that, you know, Ryan, I see you out there, brother. Great work.
And you're not getting your money back. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially now,
Maybe.
man, the results you
Yeah.
get.
A long time.
And then Mario.
Mario Zaki, Maztec. Mario's out of Long Island.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of your,
That's long time.
all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said it the California version. Brandis Kelly, Digitex.
Yeah,
And it's-
okay. It's like this, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jeff's, what do you
That's
say?
it. I said all that other
Yeah.
stuff. You had nothing to say. Brandis, you're on.
Justin Kelly.
Technology.
Hunter and Mike Farlow, father and son
Yeah.
duo that submitted.
They're a
Contact
twofer,
Out
yeah,
of North Carolina.
2 for 1.
And then the last, Nathaniel Kimberly,
Yes.
Broco Tech,
Roco.
out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, so guys, you know, I'm right below the video. I don't know if you're on Zoom, maybe on chat. I know some of this is being live streamed on the interwebs. So I think we're on Facebook. Well, we might be on Facebook. I don't know. That's what I was checking. But anyway, if we're not, you know, put it in the comments below. Tell us who you think out of these 12, if you're one of our Producers Club members, like let us know who do you think are going to end up in the 5 finalists. So I think for the 5 finalists, we should make Rob do that. What do you think? Let's do that. All right. All right. So do you want,
All right,
you want the power of the click?
No, I don't. I mean, I've just been doing such a
He's already.
pretty good job at it. That
Okay.
he's just doing a great job.
Yeah.
All right, the finalists. So again, we're referencing that, you know, that average starting point of just under 3 million. So these finalists added over $1 million in revenue, which is incredible.
Significant.
Extremely significant. Net profit increase of 355,377. That's a 296% increase.
And that's an ad. I just want to keep, like,
Yeah.
that was the increase, not the full net profit that they made.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
300% increase. MRR increase 87,523 per month, which is over $1 million in ARR
Awesome.
added, which is incredible also. These guys in the FTAs, they slacked a little too and only blew away everybody else, you know, in the industry as an average.
And
They were
sometimes
basically
more about what you
also.
close than what you said.
Yeah, so we're very, very excited. This is really, really tough, reading through all those entries and really sifting into it. We looked at the numbers, and we looked at the stories, and we looked at the effort, and it was definitely much harder than I would have imagined to get to these finalists.
And I'll add with this, a lot of it is really weighted of what you just said. It is on the numbers. It's these 4 categories of the big heavily weighted numbers. Is what did you do really by the numbers? It's not about what you maybe hope to do, or you got a bunch of leads and you're hoping to close them. It's you actually close this business here. And then we add in your story, because we want to know exactly how you did it.
Right.
Are you following the formula, or did you just kind of get lucky and you got one big enterprise client or something there? And these guys didn't. Like these, they're churning through the numbers, they're getting through everything, working the marketing funnel to be able to get.
And this, I believe, I think out of the 5, I don't think any of them acquired a company, right? I think this is all organic growth.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think, you know, it's important to know, because sometimes, you know, in the MSP world, not that it's like you're like cheating by acquiring other companies, but you know, you can see companies that grow from 5 million to 30 million, and they're doing that through acquisitions. And so, you know, organic growth is far more difficult than acquisitions, which is why so many MSPs grow through acquisition, because it's actually, in a sense, a lot of these guys are saying, hey, if I can cash flow, if I get private equity behind it, I can roll these MSPs up. But yeah, so this was all organic growth. And I think that's worth noting as well. It's really awesome. All right.
All right, you ready, Rob?
Drum
You ready?
roll,
Mark
drum
stuff?
roll,
All
sound
right.
effects, something, nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
nothing.
like
We
that.
got nothing.
I finished.
All right. Yeah, Andrew, come on. It's like, you know, I thought we were professional here.
So our first finalist is
All right.
Brandis Kelly. Revenue increase of $1,166,788.
Get it out. Okay.
$6,788
All right.
US. Net profit increase $154,173, and an MRR increase of almost $200,000.
Yeah, and Brandis is actually one of our client coaches. So just so you guys know, like if you're in accelerators, you know, Brandis is a client coach. She's been for a while, and she just runs her business like she runs her groups like that. So yeah, she earned it.
Yep.
Great
All
job.
right.
Good job, Brandis.
All right.
Brandis.
Next up,
Nathaniel. Woo!
Timling.
All right.
As some people call him now.
Yeah.
Revenue increase of $1,121,000, net profit increase $127,864, and an MRR increase of $94,513 per month. That's great stuff.
And you know, Nathaniel's not somebody who's like, you know, some producers club members, Pedro, like, you know, really are very known, I should say. You know, they're always on stage, they're always, you know, doing things. And I think it was just surprising. Sometimes there's people that come into the meetings and they don't really say much. They don't really, you know, they don't like, you know, just sort of just don't stand out. I'm going to just say in a way. And so it was really exciting to see this, but I could tell you that, you know, reading the essay, I mean, he utilized every aspect of Producers Club. I mean, he mentioned Greg Crabtree and all the accountability groups and all the sessions in the community.
Sales and marketing group.
Sales and marketing, you know, groups that he's in. Yeah. So, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, there's a lot of people who, you know, they're getting these great results because they're not just coming in and going just to the meetings. They're utilizing all those resources. So, all right.
All right.
Good job. Next. Hunter and Mike Farlow.
All right.
These guys, I mean, when I was in Producers Club, I had started a mass attack, that group, with a former member. And I remember when Mike came in and then he brought Hunter in, and they've just been going at it the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, referral
Great marketing,
contests,
yeah.
Great marketing, great energy. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for these guys. Revenue increase to $1.5 million. Net profit increase over $1 million, $1,126,008, and an MRR increase of $75,236 per month. I mean, that's
Amazing.
awesome stuff, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think Mike would agree that Hunter is really the marketing genius. Like he is on every call. He's so sharp and just gets it and executes really well. I mean, he just spoke at our producers club meeting and he won our Golden Cone Award. I mean, he's really, I mean, just young, ambitious, smart, just like I mean, I know that like, I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, if only he was likable.
Yeah.
That's, sorry, buddy, just
Yeah, look
one
at him.
dent in the armor.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of it too is that he gives back. I mean, we asked him to present. He's doing actually a breakout session at boot camp on some of the
Okay, there you
referral
go.
contests that he's done that has generated tons of new clients. And he said, absolutely, whatever you guys need.
He's
So,
great.
that's fantastic.
Awesome.
What time turn? All right, 2 to go.
All right,
Next up.
next up, Mario Zaki.
Mario.
I mean, of all the submissions, man, if you're out there listening, it was a great submission. You can tell you put a lot of time and effort into it and good story. I mean, was happy to pick this one. Revenue increase, $678,108. Net profit increase, $89,803. And an MRR increase of $32,858 a month.
Yeah, solid. And I think you were saying Mario, when he came to us, he was like a one-man shop or something.
Yeah, Mario was just a couple, 1-2-man shop,
Mhm.
joined us Accelerators Club. He would have probably actually been MSP launch
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
But he was Accelerators Club and really just dove in. He said, I want to grow my business here. And he's gone from that. And it's probably been 4 years, 5 years. He eclipsed the $2 million mark this year with this performance. And he's just ramping up. When you see something like what he's done here, is that he's on pace to just keep on growing and growing and growing. And so real proud of Mario for all the results. He's fantastic. Everything that you'll see, and all of you will be able to get to see their stories. We'll get them posted up. We'll have it for everyone at boot camp as well. They'll be talking at boot camp. Is that you're going to be able to see exactly step by step for Mario and for all these guys, what marketing worked, what didn't work, what did they do real well, what did they double down on, what did they just keep on doing so they got it systematized because it was working really well for them. And Mario did really the best out of all this to demonstrate that within his entry that you guys will get access to.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
We'll get the last but not least,
We got
right?
last
Final
one.
finalists.
Todd Clark.
Ooh, Todd.
Alaska himself.
Mr. Alaska, that's what they call him. Revenue increase, $535,538. Net profit increase, $279,036. And when we looked at his numbers percentage wise, it was something like 1,000%. I mean, a great job with his net profit. And MRR increase, $39,124 a month. And Todd told me at the last Producers Club meeting, he's like, I like was part of this community for a long time, and like I just decided like I was gonna engage, and I don't know how much I can swear, so I'm just gonna say he decided to work hard
Okay.
and really get some results. So he did.
He
Good
did,
job,
yeah,
Todd.
and he's in Alaska. It's not like it's a heavily populated area, and like he's got the snowshoes and the dogs out there to get, instead of trucks. It's crazy how he has to do it.
Yeah, they
It's
hardly
not
even use
easy.
computers.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, every time,
Imagine that.
like he gets phone calls and says, my computer's frozen,
Yeah,
and
That's it. Thank you.
yeah, right? Please don't leave.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, don't cancel.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't throw me out. I'll just see myself out.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it, guys. So those are our 5 finals. Now, you got to come to the annual IT Sales and Marketing Bootcamp, robinsbigseminar.com. And these 5 people will be on stage telling their stories. We're going to share with you their essays. We're going to share with you the exact marketing campaigns they use to have that kind of impact. You're going to hear that. And then you get to vote on who wins the Jaguar, baby. And we are giving away a real Jaguar. I mean, this is like, insane. I think you were saying this is like the F-Type, which is one of my favorite cars. That was the car that I bought when I finally started making money. I bought this car because I absolutely loved it. And this is the last year that they're making gas-powered cars. So this is going to be like a really kind of unique win here. But more important than the car is you get to be spokesperson for me. I mean, seriously, the car's like a bauble, you know what I mean? It's like a door prize. and ambassador to the industry. And honestly, it actually is a big deal because we do feature you on the cover of MSP Success Magazine, and we write up. So it is a huge honor. And if you think about all of the members and members that we have, not just Producers Club, but getting these kinds of results, you don't get those kind of results just because you do great marketing. It's because you run a good business with good people, good customer service. And so we're super excited. Again, just going to boot camp and hearing these 5 Better Your Best is worth the price of admission. Because if you're out there and you're struggling and you can't get appointments and you don't know how to increase your bottom line while increasing sales, and even talking to these guys and learning how did you deal with the growth, because now you got to hire people and you have to create systems and processes. It's going to blow up operations, and then you got to deal with the finances, like all those things, all that sort of chaos that comes with growth. These people are going to talk about that. You're going to learn that at boot camp. So you got to go robinsbigseminar.com and join us and these 5 amazing entrepreneurs to hear their stories. Comment below. I almost forgot that. I don't know. I don't know if you can. I think on Zoom.
It depends. So if you're on Facebook, comment below. Who do you think's gonna win out of these 5 finalists here? And make sure that you get registered. If you're a member, you've got tickets. We still have a few that are available. We're technically oversold.
Are we?
Here we are,
Officially?
more seats or more tickets than seats, but we know some people are to be there.
Well, look at that. And you know what? If you win, you are my sunshine. Yeah, you can hold that. All right. And Rob, I feel like I want to this thing. Let me tell you something about this thing. All right. So one year we did a superhero. What year was this? 2013?
I think 2013.
2012, 2013. We did a superhero theme. So I said, you know, it'd be really great if we did the boot camp award and it was like a super Robin, right? And this is what they came up with.
And bronze.
This thing weighs a freaking ton. But we have found it to be very useful. It's a good doorstop to hold a door open because it's so heavy, and a toilet paper holder. So I wanted to demonstrate, but we were out of toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Well, we couldn't get it off the.
They lock it up.
They lock it up here. You know what I mean? People steal it. So anyway, there you go. All right, I'm gonna put that back here. All right.
Don't break the table.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with something cool, for an award. Maybe we can do like the ASCII awards that look like butt plug.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, okay, all right, we won't do that. Okay.
We digress.
All right, yeah,
We
okay.
digress.
Time to leave.
Sit
Okay,
there.
thanks, everybody. Peace out.